Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, your #1 source for income-oriented investing. It's time for another monthly portfolio update. This is update 41, where I will unveil my entire portfolio from A to Z. In case you're new here, my name is Adrian. This channel is all about income investing, and this is one of my more popular monthly series videos where I show everything to you guys every single month. So we'll go over my portfolio, any moves that I did, the amounts, how much income I'm making, etc, etc, etc. So of course what you're looking at is my passive dashboard, who I like to thank because they are the sponsor of this video and a good friend of the channel. So in case you didn't know, Passive is a nice little portfolio management, or what I like to call an organizational tool, which combines all 6 of my investing accounts in one place, so you could see everything in one place. Very convenient if you or your significant other have separate accounts and things like that. So instead of logging into Questrade and a bunch of accounts, you could see everything here. It's quite amazing. Don't forget that they have a free version. Make sure you sign up for the free version. If you have Questrade, if you use Questrade like me, the elite version, which has extra features, which is normally $99 a year, is completely free. But I do have a 50% off coupon code in the video description below if you're interested, if you don't use Questrade but you want to try out the features, which means it's only 50 bucks a year. But all right, getting back to the portfolio. So this is my entire portfolio value, all 6 accounts put together, combined, translated into Canadian dollars. So of course, as you know, I have 2 entities. I consider myself that, in terms of portfolio management, I have 2 entities. My main portfolio, which makes up about 64% of this overall number here, which compromises our 2 TFSAs in our joint cash account, our joint non-registered account, and we have 3 retirement accounts, which combined makes up about 36% of this account. And of course, this is our 2 RSPs and my small lira as well. So let's go over it together. We're going to start with the retirement accounts first, then we're going to go into the main portfolio. And just for reference, I'm filming this on a pretty nasty day. One of the nastiest ones in the last couple of weeks, I think. I'm filming this on October 23rd. So the market's down today, and I'm, it's the middle of the afternoon. The market's still open. Let me refresh. You'll see the amount change. Okay, so yeah, believe it or not, yesterday, guys, on October 22nd, I was at 1.71 million. Unfortunately, it dipped down because the market dipped. But anyway, it doesn't really make a difference in my life, but it was cool to finally get to that 1.7 mark. So now I'm gonna show you my portfolio broken down in Excel, so it's much easier to view it. And again, don't forget that you could download the Excel file yourself for free. Just go on my website, passiveincomeinvesting.ca, click right here on free tools and resources, and it will be the very first download. You click on this and you'll download the Excel file, which I'm about to show you. And by the way, the Excel file has blank portfolio templates. It has also a budget tracker, etc, etc. And just a quick note, because I've been getting tons and tons of emails about the one-on-one coaching sessions, which have been sold out for a while now. The new sessions, everyone, are going to be opening up on November 3rd. For the rest of the year. So like as usual on my webpage right here, you can click here for the details on how to book a session. But again, new sessions will open up on November 3rd. So stay tuned for the community post, which will announce it. And of course, remember that PII Inner Circle Plus members always get the priority. They will be notified first. But again, just watch this video and it explains everything on how to book a session. But many of you I know want a session really badly. I'm sold out, and guys, I can only do them on the weekend. I can't overburden myself or I won't have time to do the video. So getting back to the portfolio unveil, let's start with the retirement accounts now. So we do have a massive change here today for my wife's RSP, and you'll see that here. So if you go to the RSP tracker, you could see what I've done in October. So I finally swapped I got rid of SVOL and RIV I just put it all in QDTE. Another thing I did, by the way, is in my Lira account, I swapped my MAXI ETF, which is a Bitcoin income ETF from Simplify, to MicroStrategy's, the Yield Max MicroStrategy ETF. Let's just start with that one first because it's simple. Why switch from MAXI to MSTY? Well, it's because I feel like investing in MicroStrategy is kind of a leveraged way to invest in Bitcoin. That's why I did it. MicroStrategy has much higher yield, has much higher volatility. And it was actually a really, really, really good decision because MicroStrategy is outperforming Bitcoin by a lot. And my account actually jumped up a little bit here. If we just go to the passive, if we click on the Lira, I have 1,219 shares. And you could see that this is not even a month. And I'm already up $7,000 actually on the investment. So as you well know, my small Lira came from my old Air Canada pension plan. It was $33,000 Canadian, and now it's actually worth $50,000 Canadian. So I'm up over 50% on it. I couldn't be happier. What a great move I did, honestly, to move it to MSTY. So will I keep it in MSTY in the yield max? I'm not sure because Roundhill is coming out with their own MicroStrategy covered call ETF, and I believe it's going to have weekly distribution. So we'll have to see what happens. Maybe I'll switch. We'll have to analyze the behavior or the total return comparison between MSTY and the Roundhill one. So this, by the way, I forgot to mention it. All three accounts are on drip. It's just the dividends. The distributions are being reinvested automatically, everyone. So obviously total return is a little bit important to me, right? Because I'm trying to increase my total return via income, via compounding interest. So yeah, that is definitely a big move I made. Switch MAXI to MSTY. I wish something would a MicroStrategy cover call ETF would come out on the Canadian stock market. I think it will. I'm very optimistic about it. But yeah, I did this in the Lira account. So the next thing I did in my wife's account, I just went all in on QDTE as well. So you guys know I used to have SVOL and RIV. My plan was always to get rid of RIV and swap it into SVOL. But like I discussed in my latest video in why I sold SVOL, it's not that SVOL is a bad fund or anything like that, but it's actually becoming more and more boring to me because it's leaning more. It's kind of becoming a fixed income ETF. It has a lot of fixed income exposure there. And I think SVOL is still a great fund. It has very consistent approximately 15% yield, but now there's a lot of fixed income in there. So rate cuts will impact it. Like we saw, right? The recent distribution, 30 cents to 28 cents. So there could be more cuts coming for the SVOL distribution, but I still think it's a fantastic ETF for retirees who are living off the income. But for me, where I have a lot of years of accumulation left, QDT is just a better fit. Equities is a better fit. So you guys know that the NASDAQ 100 is pretty much my favorite index. NASDAQ 100, S&P 500 as well. I'm really like technology stocks, and this is very heavy on technology without going all in on technology, right? The NASDAQ 100. So swapped everything into QDTE. Believe it or not, I thought I would have the exact amount of shares, but I have 24 less shares of QDTE in Erica's RSP compared to mine. My OCD is just driving me crazy. So I've actually deposited, or I made a contribution to Erica's RSP of 1,000 USD just so I could buy 24 more shares, so I could have the exact same amount of shares in both our RSPs, which will cause me about 15 seconds less of work every month because I just, I could just copy paste. I'll just take this field here and just copy it to this field, right? It's going to be the exact same amounts going forward. So I didn't get the $1,000 yet as a non-resident. It takes like 2-3 business days to get the contribution. And by the way, in case you're wondering, you could still contribute to your RSPs when you're a non-resident if you have room. It's just pretty much not worth it because you might as well put it in the non-registered cash account. But in this case, I just did it for my OCD, so we have the exact same number of QDTE shares. So my investment in QDTE, which is now basically about 180K investment in QDTE, is doing really, really well. If you go to passive and look at the actual investment value, of course it went down a little bit today, but you see that my $180,000 approximate investment is now worth $204,000, almost 205 in Erica's account, and my account a little bit more because I have 24 more shares at 205. So I couldn't be happier with QDTE. You guys saw the video, the Holy Grail video. QDTE is definitely outperforming QQQ, and that's all I could ever ask for to have for a covered call ETF that follows the NASDAQ 100, right? To have the similar performance to an index fund, which I thought was impossible, but QDT is not only doing that, but it's actually beating QQQ. So I'm very, very happy. Everything is on drip, guys. So all I'm pretty much doing every single week, every single Friday or Saturday, is just updating my number of shares, which of course the weekly dividend varies and is based on volatility, right? The more the market is going up and volatility is low, of course, that week the distribution is going to be lower. But if volatility starts spiking like today, it's the weekly distributions are going to be higher. And for the annual dividend, by the way, the average, if you take all QDT's weekly dividends, I added them up. The average is about 32 cents. It's very hard to say what the annual dividend is because it changes every week. But for now, I just have an average of 28 cents weekly. If QDTE, the dividend starts going less than 28 cents for quite a few weeks, I'll probably lower the average. But I'm not trying to cheat or anything, guys. I just don't want to. I'm too lazy to update it every single week. It's ridiculous. So I'm just trying to find an average, right, of what is the weekly dividend. The actual average, if you calculate, like I mentioned, all the dividends so far, it's about 32 cents. So I just went with 28 cents, but of course it's not going to be perfect. So my annual income, monthly income is not exactly right, but sometimes it could be more, so sometimes it could be less. You guys know what I'm trying to say. Same thing for MSTY. I believe they just declared a monster dividend of over $4, but I think it's because they haven't declared, it's probably 6-7 weeks worth of dividends because they changed their distribution schedule. So I'll leave it, this dividend here, this annual dividend of $22.25, I believe is just based on the last distribution, 1.85 times 12. So I'll just leave it at that for now. I'll wait till the next dividend, but I guess this one, I'll just update it every month based on the last distribution, which I think is fair. So that's it for the retirement account, guys. There's pretty much nothing else I could streamline or do here. It's just QDT on drip and MS and MicroStrategy on drip. That's basically it, guys. I don't really do much else. So I'm finally finished with the streamlining when it comes to our retirement accounts. Will I hold QDTE forever? Well, unless a better NASDAQ 100 covered call ETF that I like better comes out, right? It's possible. Can you imagine a 25% leverage QDTE, guys? I mean, that's just the dream, right? So we'll see what happens. But again, right now, I don't think I'll be doing much changes in a long time for the retirement account. So total income right now based on these numbers is about a little over 14K USD, which translates to just under 20K Canadian based on $1.37 exchange rate, right? Because if you look at passive, by the way, the totals here is in Canadian, but you see the investment value here is in USD. So basically, because I contributed everything to my RSP in Canadian dollars, you see this is the lifetime contributions. I just put the current value, whatever passive has, in Canadian dollars. So I've been tracking my monthly income, my investment value every single month now. So you could see big jump from last month because September to October has been a really good, amazing time for the stock market. Obviously not today, October 23rd, but before that, it's been really good. You could see that here, 273 in September to 286, 271 to 284. So I couldn't be happier, right? I do expect that over the long term, this is just going to go up and up and up and up. It's based on, yes, what the NASDAQ 100 is doing, but also the compound interest because of the drip, right? So it's very easy to track the performance of an account, especially if you have one fund on drip, because all you have to do is look at the value of the account. So now let's move on to my main portfolio right now. So main portfolio, guys, compromises of our 2 TFSAs. You see what we have here. You could pause the screen if you want. Here's my TFSA. This is Erica's TFSA. And of course, our joint cash account, our joint non-registered account. And if you just click, I'm clicking on my main portfolio here, top left, you see that the total value in Canadian dollars, $1,067,000. And that is what I put basically here, the current portfolio value. It's actually a bit lower, but I typically round to by $5,000. So let's first of all I'll talk to you about the changes I've made. Then there's a little surprise, which was a very pleasant surprise, distribution increase by bank, and then we'll do the summary. So in terms of what I've done in October, haven't done much, honestly. I did trim my HPYT position from 15,000 to 10,000, just a tiny bit. I was pretty much broken even on it. You see a $35 capital gain on it. I also trimmed my Ethereum position from 17,000 to 15,000. Took a loss on that, capital loss. So you see here that my Happy T position is under 1% now. It's at 10,000, and my Ethereum is at 15,000 instead of 17,000. That was pretty much to satisfy my OCD for the Ethereum one, especially. So what did I do with the Happy T and Ethereum proceeds? Well, I did buy. I put a little bit more in the Harvest Nvidia single stock one and the Eli Lilly leverage single stock ETF. So just a little bit. So that's it right here. I have about 3,500 in both of these. These are obviously very, very small positions. They're very niche positions because they're single stocks, but they have phenomenal yields. I'm doing really, really well on the Nvidia one. Not today, of course, but I can't go up all the time, right? Here's my book price on the Nvidia one, just over 11. The Eli Lilly one is 11. The Lilly one's 11.65. So very, very high yield. You know, I wouldn't buy the single stock cover call ETFs. I would never buy them unless A, they're leveraged. All 3 of these are. 2, I like the stock, and 3, they got to have a yield of at least 18% or more, because if not, it's not worth it. I might as well buy a QQCL or a HYLD or a USCL. So that is pretty much what I've done in October. My main buys, besides those little trims, my main buy was basically $10,000 more of QQCL, which is a massive core position in my portfolio, guys. It's a NASDAQ 100 covered call ETF. And a little bit in UTS. So UTS is exclusively in the TFSA. So because it's Canadian, less tax efficient for a non-resident, because it'll have some eligible dividends. So UTS and ENCL, there are exclusively in our TFSA accounts. There's none in our non-registered. Bank, unfortunately, the good news is that they raised their dividend. Okay, let's start with that. From $1.20 a year to $1.32, they raised the monthly dividend from 10 cents to 11 cents, which literally equates to because I have 15,000 shares, a $150 a month increase, which is fantastic. Of course, I couldn't just cross the 18% yield at 17.99. Oh, that sucks, but hey, what are you going to do? So, yeah, UTS and ENCL are exclusively in the TFSAs. Bank, I have some in the TFSA, but some of it in the most of it in the non-registered as well. So very nice, pleasant surprise. My average dividend yield jumped as well because of that. I'll just switch it back and you could see if we just go to 120, 1356, $1,500 a month on that. If we do 1.32, it goes to 1374 to 1650. So that is a big jump because bank is a pretty big position in my portfolio, almost over 10%, just under 11% here. Obviously, I have a strong conviction about it because, it's a niche, it's a sector-specific position, but it's the Canadian financials, right? The top 10 Canadian financials, which I strongly believe in. Here are the stocks right here. You got the 6 banks, the 3 life insurance, and Power Corporation. So, yeah, I added a little bit more to UTS, which is utilities. You got the 3 telecoms, 4 utilities or electricity, and you got the 3 pipelines. Very, very nice high yield. I really like these Evolve products that are leveraged. So these two, definitely my favorite Evolve products because they're the only ones that are leveraged. You guys know that's my favorite type of product, cover calls and some leverage. So I have 22.8. I'll probably get another 2,500 to make it 25K next month in the TFSAs. So yeah, very nice surprise from bank. I did confirm with them it's not a typo because they used to have some, at one point there was a typo with one of their dividends. I can't remember which one, I think call, but I did confirm, no, it's not a typo. The dividend is now 11 cents a month. So that's fantastic. So in terms of how my portfolio is doing, everyone, it's doing phenomenal. I couldn't be happier. I'm actually up on the capital. Remember, this is just the capital. It does not, I repeat, it does not include the income of 13.74% yield. So what does that really mean in practical terms? Well, if this number is zero, if my capital is pretty much always in line with my book price, how much, which is how much I actually put in, my return is pretty much my yield, 13.74% a year, which is absolutely phenomenal. So my four main core positions, which are diversified, are still HGL, USCL, QQCL. You guys know that my favorite way of investing is index-based. And what better indexes than the S&P 500 and NASDAQ 100? I don't think you could find one. Those are my two favorite indexes. With cover calls, of course, great management and 25% leverage. All of these three funds are doing well. And they were featured on the Holy Grail video where I recently came out with. So obviously they're going to be core positions of mine, and it's just going to increase over time. GDV as well is doing phenomenal. In case you didn't catch Brompton's Q&A where we talk about GDV in the last year have, all split fund Class A shares are doing really well now because they're even more leveraged, doing absolutely phenomenal. I think like 60 or 70% return on last year. So yeah, it's almost going to be probably reaching $12. My book price is a nice even $10. So I'm up on GDV for sure, significantly. So still my top four core main positions. In terms of sector specific, we already covered bank, Utes, and ENCL, which pretty much is my Canadian exposure. Right, but I also have RS, which of course you guys all know. I've been talking about it for a long time. I am planning on getting rid of it, selling it soon. It's been doing well. The Bank of Canada just announced a 50 basis point rate cut. That's going to help REITs, I'm sure. So I have no doubt that I'll eventually reach my book cost of $13.63 and more. It's obviously a giant position. I'm so happy that I followed my instinct and averaged it down. I got it to $13.63. So again, in case you didn't catch it, the reason why I'm getting rid of RS is not because I don't like it, not because the yield is low. I have a nice yield here, 11.45. It's top quality blue chip REITs pretty much. It's because as a non-resident, it's not tax efficient for me in a cash account, unfortunately, and 97% of my RS is in my non-registered account. So when will I sell it? When it becomes $13.63 and I break even. Break even on capital, but then all the income would be my profit, right? And I made a crap load of income on RS throughout the years. I don't know, guys. I'm really not sure. I'm gonna follow my instinct. We'll see. I know that RS is merging with another fund in December. I think that's gonna help RS tremendously with the liquidity and stuff. So maybe I'll hold on to it. Maybe I'll wait till $14.63 to get a nice $12,500 profit on top of all the income I made. I really don't know. We'll have to see. Happy Tea, I can't, I'm disappointed in it, not because of harvest, but because why is TLT going down when it should be going up with rate cuts? I don't know. So that's why I actually trimmed it. I wouldn't be surprised if eventually I'll swap it or get rid of it for more harvest single stock income shares, which I like much better because they have lower fee. They're more tax efficient for me because Happy Tea does have some foreign income because it's, it holds TLT. And it's leveraged. These are leveraged and Happy Tea is not leveraged. So I'll definitely probably be swapping out my Happy Tea. I'm just waiting for a right time. We'll see what happens. And then there's what I would consider probably the riskiest part of my portfolio, right? The single stock exposure. So you got Tesla at 30,000, which I'm pretty much broken even on. Of course, higher risk means higher reward. Check out these yields. Nvidia and the Lilly one from Harvest. So hopefully Harvest adds more and more. I'm actually doing a Q&A with Michael Kovacs. We'll ask him about it. I know there's a lot of you have questions about them. Are they going to have more of these? I think they will, so we'll see what happens. And then there's the crypto ones, which the Ethereum one has definitely the worst performer in my portfolio. You see here a 475 book cost. Right now it's like a 325. So it's been a nightmare, this one. But hey, at least I'm still making $120 a month on it. Bitcoin's been doing much, much better compared to Ethereum. I'm actually up on it a little bit. So that is the portfolio, guys. So from capital wise, I'm actually up now, which is fantastic. Not that it really makes a difference in my life. This is what I really care about, the income. So my gross monthly income is now $11,705 minus my 25% withholding taxes. So all my dividends have a 25% withholding tax in my non-registered cash account, which equates to $22.14. So my net, and here's my expected tax refund. So basically the portion of that 25%, like it says here, I get everything. Sorry, like it says here, I get everything that's classified as ROC and capital gains the following calendar year. So this is just an estimate on what my tax refund is going to be every month versus this $22.14. So my monthly income net is about $11,245. I didn't update it here, but I guess I could update it now. $11,245. So this is another thing I've been tracking in case you guys are curious on, how my income is going up every month. I'm basically doing it for you guys, and I guess for me as well. So you could see throughout the months, my net monthly income is going up throughout the months and years. And then you have the portion of where the money's coming from. So from the TFSA is almost $3,000, and the rest is coming from the non-registered account. So I am about to cross the $400,000 of passive income realized, right? Of passive income. If you scroll to the left, by the way, and go down, you could see every year what are my capital gains from trading. What I mean by trading is when I buy, buying low, selling high, or buying low, selling lower. These are basically all these capital losses and gains added up. And the income is basically all the dividends, all the distributions. So I just cracked over $100,000 of income. And total profit right now for 2024 is $84K. Obviously, it's going to be a lot more once the November and December dividends come in. So about to crack over 400,000 in income soon, and that means almost over 500,000 in total profit, which is the capital gains throughout the years and the income throughout the years. So that's it, everyone. Don't forget to sign up to Blossom if you want to track my main portfolio, this portfolio on a day-to-day basis. Sign up to Blossom. It's a cool mobile app where you could follow me. You could post your own portfolio if you want. You could follow other influencers or other people's portfolios. The link is in the video description below. It's completely free. So get the app using my link and follow my portfolio. And we're going to do this again next time, everyone, next month, because I'm keeping you informed of how my portfolio is going in every single thing that I do. So tell me what you think about the moves I did in the retirement accounts, about the MAXI going to MicroStrategy. If, let's say, MicroStrategy, if Harvest or Purpose comes out with a single stock MicroStrategy covered call ETF with 25% leverage, would you swap BTCY.B into it completely? Let me know what you think about that in the video description, in the comments rather, sorry. And we're going to do this again next month. So take care, everyone. See you again. Hey, don't go yet. A few reminders before you leave. Did you know that I launched a YouTube loyalty membership program where for only $3 a month, you could become a PII Inner Circle member, where you will gain access to exclusive content, exclusive videos and live streams, as well as other perks and benefits, including a really cool weekly opportunity report. That's right. If you're interested, just click on the little join button next to the subscribe button to see what it's all about. Also, make sure to follow me on Blossom and download Blossom. It's a social investing app, which is really cool. You could share your portfolio, follow other people's portfolios, including my own. My username is Adrian_PII. So download it with the referral link below. Not only is it free, but you could actually earn cash by taking these really small, quick 1-minute courses. Really awesome. It's a no-brainer. Also, make sure to visit our website, passiveincomeinvesting.ca. That's where you could book a one-on-one private coaching session with yours truly, with myself, where you could ask me all the questions you want. All the information and booking information is on the website. Make sure to check out that video on the homepage there to see how to book a one-on-one properly. Also on my website, you could purchase my digital product, which I'm very proud of, the ultimate DIY investing package. This is a reference tool or a companion tool that will help you build your own portfolio. So it has lists of funds, it has sample portfolios, and it covers both the Canadian and US stock markets. And the good news is you'll only ever have to buy it once because it comes with free lifetime updates. And my plan is really to update the version every single year. So make sure to pick it up. Also, I have Questrade and Passive referral links below. So Questrade is the broker that I personally use, and Passive is the broker companion tool or assistant that I use. Really cool program, really cool software. So I have referral links for both of those. Questrade, $50 of free trades. And Passive, I have half off for the Elite membership. If you're interested in the Elite membership, and even if you want to start out with the free membership and upgrade to the Elite afterwards, use my referral code so you could still get that 50% off. And don't forget that the Elite membership of Passive is 100% free if you use Questrade. For social media, we have a very successful and big Facebook group, private Facebook group with over 14,000 members, where we all try to help each other out. So make sure to join that group. Information is below. We also have Instagram, where you could follow us, or more personal stuff when it comes to our life here in Panama. And there's LinkedIn as well. So as usual, everyone, how do I leave you? Continue to stay safe, stay healthy, and of course, stay passive. See you next time.